Okay guys, tonight we're going to talk about how a solar system forms. It goes with chapter 20, section 1 in your book if you want another resource to go back and look over. The first thing I want to do is have you take a look at the picture that's on this page. So you'll see that our solar system consists of the sun all the way out to what's called the Kuiper belt. That's out past Pluto. Now the Kuiper belt is basically like the asteroid belt, but it's just farther out, obviously. And the theory is that Pluto may be just a large piece of that Kuiper belt, and is in fact not a planet because it doesn't make sense that you would have 4 gas giants and then another solid planet. So that's the Kuiper belt, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Okay, so all solar systems, including ours with our sun, forms in the beginning from a nebula. So a nebula is just a cloud of dust and gas that's in space. Most of the time it's hydrogen, helium, carbon, and iron, but it's also going to have some other gases in there as well. And that nebula will just sit there and hang out until something changes it. Now that something that can change that would be a supernova or a star that explodes nearby. So if that star explodes, goes through a supernova, it sends out a shock wave into that nebula cloud, and it basically makes the cloud collapse on itself and contract. And when it does, the center starts to heat up. Okay, so we're at number 1 here. So the shock wave enters the nebula contracts and becomes smaller and collapses on itself. And in the very center, where everything's pulling towards the middle, friction starts to heat up. And as it heats up in the center, that's where your star begins to form. Now, as everything is coming towards the center is heating up, that nebula, which was a big old blob cloud, starts to flatten out and it'll start to spin. So the question has come up several times, why are planets all go in one direction when they revolve around the sun? Well, there's your answer, because that is the direction that the cloud was spinning once that supernova shock wave got in there and started things moving. So where did the inner and outer planets come from? So to refresh your memory, the inner planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, they are all solid planets, and then the outer planets are all gas giants. So all the inner planets that are solid are closer to the sun, and that's because the sun is pulling everything towards the center. Everything in the solar system is being tugged on and pulled toward the center, and the solids can get pulled on a little bit harder than the gases. So when everything was forming, all the dust and the solid particles got pulled in closer to the sun, and all the gases that didn't get tugged on quite as hard were kind of left out farther beyond the inner planets. So the outer planets, those are the leftover gases that couldn't quite get pulled in hard enough. Now, keep in mind that we do have gases that surround Earth, and Venus in particular. They have very thick atmospheres. So not all the gas got left behind. Some of it did stay with the inner planets to form the atmospheres. But most of the gases that were in that nebula came together to form the outer planets. Okay, so let's talk for a second about the asteroid belt. You'll see that the official asteroid belt is located between Mars and Jupiter. So Jupiter, we've talked about the gravitational pull on it. It's a huge planet, so it has a huge gravitational pull. It's got that giant atmosphere that it's holding in. So we think that the asteroid belt, which is just rocks that are out in space, should have become another inner planet, but that Jupiter's gravity was tugging on it just enough to keep all those pieces of rock from coming together. So now they're just hanging out in between Mars and Jupiter. There's also another asteroid belt called the Kuiper belt that you can see is out past Neptune. So we think that Pluto is a part of that Kuiper belt. So it's very similar to the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. It's just much farther out, obviously. Okay, make sure that you have your notes filled in and bring them to class to be checked off tomorrow. Have a good night.